What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 10. And unfortunately, this is going to be the last episode for probably about a month. Once I get done moving across the country and all that good stuff, then we will get right on back into some Space Engineers because I absolutely love this game. So, what are we going to do today? Today, it's going to be a little bit interesting. Still got the Space Miner up here, incomplete, that's fine. I did do a bunch of mining though. I've got a bunch of cobalt, some iron, some magnesium. Stone doesn't really count. And I've still got 224,000 uranium to get processed up. So far I have 2.1 thousand, and it's still processing through the refineries. That is fine. We have a meteor storm inbound. Let's see if it's going to be a big one like the last one, or if it's going to be just a couple meteors. We'll see. Where are you guys at? There they are. Coming in kind of low. Not too worrisome. So today I want to do something interesting, something I haven't done before, ever. I don't know if it's really possible. You can see the sun coming up, it's hitting the trees and stuff. But I want to project one of the fighter ships that I made in the last series. I made this one myself. But instead of the NANITES building it, I want to see if it's possible to project it and then weld it by hand. That should be interesting. The only thing, though, is that it is a small grid. So I'm going to need a landing gear. I'm going to need a battery. I'll do the regular one. And I'm going to need a projector. So I'm going to need all of these in small grid. So we're going to start with small grid landing gear. Very nice. And then we'll put a pretty good amount of blocks. Whoops. There we go. Alright, so now that we have that, we'll go ahead and get rid of you. And then we're going to want to put our projector. I'm not too sure how the projector works. Alright, so I think I got this. So the plus is the front. Okay, so the plus sign is on the front and the line is on the top. So we'll place you there. I'll weld up the projector real quick, and we should have our battery done. And then we should be able to put this battery somewhere. Just put you right there. Alright, well the sun is definitely up now. So we'll get this battery placed. And let's see. Oh, that's right. Can't control it, so I need a control. Control panel. Should be pretty easy to make. And I'll put you probably right there. I don't care if it's facing up or down. That's fine. So control panel, battery. Fluid plated 125 days. Projector. Blueprints. Huh. So we want Summer's Mega Fighter? I think that's the one that we want to. Hello. You're facing all sorts of the wrong direction. So I probably should have put the control panel on this side, but so it's facing kind of down. So if we go to the control panel for the projector, horizontal offset vertical. No. Is it this one? No. Is it the pitch? Kind of. So if, what the hell? That's weird. Why is it? What? Okay. So if it's not that way, pitch 90? Ooh, there we go. That's much better. Alright, so there is the projection. Now, why these guns are sticking out of the floor, I don't know. Aside from that, what's our battery running? 125 days, not bad. So this is the projection of the ship that I built, and I loved it. It worked very well. It's very rough, but it has 8 turrets, plus the bigger turret up here on the back, as well as some Gatling guns on the front and some rocket launchers on the bottom. And this thing is pretty cool. So, can I weld this whole thing up? So, alright, so normally when I use projections, I have NANITES that come in and build the whole thing for me, because I've built quite a few ships, just like this fighter and some miners and my big giant drop ship. But I'm wondering if it's possible to weld this whole thing up without NANITES, including like the insides and all that fun stuff, because I think I've got some, I know I have a shield controller and all that stuff. So I think if I just start welding, you know, we got this light armor block here, boom, it started to weld the cockpit even though I wasn't touching it. Interesting. So if I have the components, can I just like sit here and weld? I don't know. I've never welded something up with a projector by hand, so I think this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. So I'm going to clear these guys, and I think I'm just going to start producing a bunch of stuff and just trying to weld this thing up, see how it works. We'll see. Alright, I think we pretty much almost, come on. So there's a few spots still kind of missing, but for the most part, it looks like we welded the whole thing up by hand. Except for this little section back here. Okay, so this is a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. I got the whole outside built, basically. But only some of the thrusters are working, and I went through and I was going through. Let's just say I'm not so sure that I'm going to be able to go without the nanites. I'm hoping that the glitch is fixed, so maybe I can bring them back. Just maybe. Maybe. Alright, these ships are way too hard to build by hand with a projector. So, we're going to change routes towards nanites and see if we have this system here. I wonder if a nanite facility can be hooked up to the cargo container and work in conjunction with our assembler. But in order to even get to nanites, we first have to build a gravity generator and then an artificial gravity generator, artificial mass. Ooh, you're getting complicated. So if I build a gravity generator and then an artificial mass, that should build that and get rid of it. And then we need, so that's it. Okay, so I can build the nanite facility now. Well, I can't build it because it takes an incredible amount of stuff, but we can start building it. Shift right click, kind of get started, and we'll probably put this thing, it's freaking huge. I might actually put this on the roof or in here. If I put it in here for now, it'll take up a lot of space, of course, but we'll at least be able to see if it works, if it's in here. I've got a lot of production to go, so I'll be back. Okay, I think I've got everything left that I need to finish building this guy, hopefully. A little bit more superconductors. This should be everything. Looks like it's everything. So, plans definitely did not go as well as I had hoped for this episode. I was hoping that I would be able to use the projector to make my super awesome fighter ship. That way I can use it. But it turned out to be too much of an issue, so now things are kind of tilting towards if I can get the nanites to work. Looks like the controller's over there. So if I hook up some conveyor tubes, I'm hoping I'll be able to get this thing to work. So we go here, here. Hopefully this thing will work. I'm not sure if it will. So I'll connect it first. Go to the control panel real fast before I turn it on. Repair construction, projection construction, cleanup. Deconstruction, no. Mining, no. Medical, sure. Why not? And then use assemblers. And then I should be able to come up here. Hopefully, if it works this way. I know before I had to have the assembler directly connected. Nanite factory queuing. And I think should be good. We'll turn it on and see really if it really does anything. Scanning, blah blah blah. Oh, are you doing stuff? Are you doing stuff? What are you doing? Where's it going? There's nothing over there. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, okay. So it is working. Huh. So I don't have any speed upgrades or anything like that on it right now. I don't know what this yellow dot is running towards. It's doing something, but it's also doing something over here. So let me go ahead and turn the projector back on, because I'm curious if it will finish building for me. Okay. It seems to be working. I'm going to say that right now because I don't know if it's going to actually produce stuff when it needs it. Nothing's in production right now. So I lied a little bit. I said I wasn't going to use nanites in this series, but it's episode 10 and things didn't go as planned, so why not? It seems to be working, I'll say that now. I'm still curious if it's going to end up producing things as it needs them. So now right now it's running off of my inventory. So, okay, so it's picking up scrap metal from somewhere. And a grinder. I don't remember dying in that direction. Maybe I did, but I'm gonna let this run. It's still running right now. It's still going over there. What are you getting? Which is weird because I don't have anything down there. I mean, I guess it's doing what it needs to do. Still getting scrap metal. And are you producing yet? Nothing producing. Oh, I was wondering where all my nanites went. They're all building all the blocks for the wind turbine tower, which I probably never would have done. But, I mean, if they want to do that, that's cool, I guess. Make it light up a little bit nicer. Aside from that, it's still working. Slowly. On this guy, I don't know if it's actually going to produce the blocks that it needs. That's one thing it looks like it might not be doing. Because I still haven't seen anything being produced in the production side of things. But it does have a lot of items in its inventory. So, I guess we'll see. Alright, so it looks like it did start producing its own stuff. So that's cool. It's kind of pausing now. One thing that I did notice though is it's pretty much drained all of my power. I'm out of power very soon. So I'm gonna try to let it finish what it's doing if it can. I'm basically completely depleted right now on power, which is one thing I completely forgot about, is that the nanite facility takes an incredible amount of power. So I'm out in just a few minutes. The wind turbines are going to have to cover everything. It did finish building the tower, but I think it's pretty close to done with the ship. Just kidding. It's almost done. But it looks like it did build the controller, and it's almost done with the emitter. It looks like it needs one detector component. So, might have a shield after all, which is awesome. But when it's done, I'm gonna need to build a reactor badly, because even both of the azimuth batteries are just they're done. They're outputting 18 megawatts each, which is a ton of power. I might have to shut this thing off, but it's so close. I feel like it's so close to being done. It looks like it's finishing up Oh, there we go. Hello. Gorgeous. Look at that. I'm actually going to turn the shield off because it's running on the battery right now. Actually, no, I'm not going to turn the shield off. I think I can go to my inventory. And I do have the small reactor in here. Cool. So I'm going to put some, probably about 100 uranium or 10. No, I'll put like 80 pieces in, and that's gonna be plenty. That'll last this thing quite a while. So put that in. Go to the inventory reactor. Throw that in.
Ship fuel low.
Ship fuel low. Thrusters are off. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, control panel, battery. There's 2 batteries on this thing? Okay. So they're inputting, I think they're maximum, right? But they're inputting a pretty good amount, which is good. Because I have them on auto, so they're not going to charge completely. But we got the reactor, we got a little bit of uranium in there. The nanite facility is off, or idling, so we should be charging. That's good. Okay, so next, what I want is, do I want to go hard with the azimuth reactor? Probably not. I'm going to do a small fusion reactor. Doesn't look like there's a small azimuth reactor. These are all, well, this one's, I think I'll do the 2.1. And it looks like we can do a large grid small fusion reactor. So if we can, that would be wonderful. So large grid, Q production. Hopefully I can build all of this stuff. And I'll probably put you here, right? I got another port right there. I mean, why not? It'll sort of work. It's a really weird spot for it. But as long as it works, that's all that matters. I think production for the reactor components might take a little while. Let's see how fast they are. Yeah, they're pretty slow. I'll let those produce and get this guy welded up and see how quickly it'll charge our batteries back up. So I didn't even think about this. Because the nanite facility is here, of course it's going to go ahead and start building it, which is just going to drain my batteries even more. So I'm depleted in 12 minutes. Hopefully it'll get it built before then. I know we're still producing, so it's just going to slowly, piece by piece, finish building this thing for me. Oh boy, I think it's done. Is it done? It is done. So theoretically, I think it should automatically pull uranium into it. Yes. Awesome. So control panel outputting 45 megawatts. And that's just for the small 2-point. Not bad. So that'll definitely give us some juice into our batteries. 44 minutes until full, inputting 11 megawatts on that one. 11 on that one, and I think these sure, what, 3? Inputting 3.8. Not bad. So 45 megawatts should be enough to keep up with this thing if it's running full power. Sun's coming up. Our fighter is done. It just doesn't have ammo in it. And we need to put a little bit more ice in it as well. I'm not gonna use it today, but I'll put some more ice in it and get it moved over to this port, because there's no reason that it needs a conveyor system hooked up to it. So inventory, ice, and it should pull it. Cool. So now that's producing again, and I will go ahead and grab some ammo because I think I have some extra. Got a few crates of this. I'll grab a couple hundred because that's all I can hold, and I should be able to just go in here, inventory, dump it, and it should distribute. Kind of. So if I go to turret, it is distributing through the turrets perfectly. And then I got the OKI machine gun turret here as well, which should take the drums. And I think I've got some, so I'll grab about 70 of those. And if I go back to the cockpit, I don't know if it's actually hooked up. So I'll put those in here. Turret. Awesome, it is, okay. So all of our turrets are loaded. So all 8 of the Gatling turrets have ammo. This one has ammo. We don't have any ammo in our turrets here or the rocket launchers yet, but that will be coming. I want to see if I can park this thing, which I have to break it free. But before I do that, I'm going to turn our thrusters on, and I don't think it'll fly because it's attached here. I'll take this guy off. Cool. I'll leave it there for now in case I end up using it again. But aside from that, we do have flight. Go ahead and give it a little whoop-de-whoop. What are you shooting at? What's over there? So that happened before. What is that? Was it shooting at that? Huh. Okay, that's interesting. But I had that issue before where one of the guns, I think I was on the miner ship, it just started shooting over there. I'm not sure why. So what do we have? We have a defense station. I thought I saw another one somewhere. I think it's only that one. I'm not going to go after that today. It's probably pretty big. I'll go take a quick look at it. Sort of. I'm just curious. I don't have my camera on here, which I think is hotbar number 4. Oh yeah, that looks big. I'm not gonna fight it though. Definitely looks like a pretty big one. That will be coming down the line. If it's still there on the next episode, then I'm gonna take it on. I'll put some rockets and all the ammo into our Gatling guns, and I gotta get the camera mounted onto the front of this thing because that thing is the brain of this thing. I use that camera to zoom in and get some good shots. But for now, this thing flies incredible. It has really good flight. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount it onto here. So if we see, okay, the connector's in the back. Move over a little bit. Cool. And then what I need to do is get a hotwire for the connector, switch lock, ready to connect. Turn off our thing. Cool. So we got a fighter. I'm so happy to have this thing back. It's gonna help us out a lot because eventually I want to get to the moon again. And this is gonna help a lot. Before, when I was at the moon, I would just park this thing, and because of all the turrets that it has, it would just, it's great defense, especially with the shield. And this turret on top is freaking awesome. So that's something to look forward to coming up in the next episodes. Our reactor should be charging these guys up, right? What do we have in here? Stored power, 2 megawatts already. Awesome. So today, yeah, this episode did not go exactly as I planned it. I wanted to weld this thing up by hand, but it's not very doable, so I'm just going to leave this guy here. I'm probably not going to put any upgrades on it because eventually I'm going to be moving. But that'll do it for this episode. The next one's going to be out. I'm not sure when, honestly. It's going to be a little while. At least maybe on the road. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.